we've had a great time. We've been gone for a while. It's been
I
a little
know,
while,
but we are back on the internet for your excitement and pleasure.
Uncensored, unfiltered. This is going to be quite an interesting experience.
I could use bad words again.
Yeah, she used to say bad words all the time, and we had to bleep them out. It was
Yeah.
lots of fun. So, we're back with our first topic, which is a show I've been trying to do forever, NerdCore. Do you know how hard it is to find NerdCore people who actually want to be known out in public or something? It's the weirdest thing.
No, you are wrong. You are wrong about that. You make it sound like it's a shameful thing, the way that like being a nerd was in the 90s.
We've been trying a year and a half to do a NerdCore show. We could not find anybody. No, I don't think it was just me.
I know. Maybe
they looked at our show and they're like, they're going to rip me apart.
You should try showering.
It's no fun when you're by yourself. So, we are joined today by
Doug Funnie.
Doug Funnie. It's Doug Funnie. I called you Doug Funnie because that's how you said it. It's actually just Doug Funnie.
It's not actually an 80s reference. He's not playing Doug all the time in his songs.
That's Zig Doug.
That's true.
All right. Who's the ancient geek here? Second generation who doesn't know Dig Doug? All right. So the first thing we do when we have guests come in, just to kind of get them acclimated, is we have the fanboy gauntlet of doom. So we're going to ask you 5 questions. You give me the first answer that hits your head. Ready?
Yes.
What is your favorite video game soundtrack?
Metal Gear Solid. I'm gonna go with Metal Gear.
First one, second one, third one?
First one.
Okay, just want to clarify that because the other one sucked. Who would win in an epic sing-off, Parappa the Rapper or Jammer Lammy?
Sing-off or Parappa the Rapper, but Jammer Lammy would probably play the guitar licks for it.
But Jammer Lammy sucked. I never got past the heavy metal airplanes crashing level because it was I just couldn't do it.
That was the favorite level. I love that level so much.
I don't know if you should put you on the show anymore. Number 3. Do you think you could dance away and save the day in Space Channel 5?
No.
You couldn't do up, down, choo, choo, choo. You couldn't do that?
Couldn't do it.
Or is it the sexy
we
outfit?
could all do Dance Dance Revolution because the 90s were a good time.
Mostly. All right, if you could NerdCore sing a song with any singer, no matter if they're NerdCore or not, who would you want to sing with?
I'll probably go with Rihanna just to add more auto-tune, just to make her sound like the robot from Portal.
Not just because she's kind of hot?
No, I don't really dig her. She's not.
See,
not to me for some reason.
I would love to hear Rihanna singing some Jonathan Colton lyrics.
Yes.
And last but not least, what is the one geeky, nerdy subject you really want to write a song about, but you just haven't found the right song?
Really geeky.
Say time travel.
Time travel?
Time travel.
God, favorite!
All right, so today we're going to be talking all things fun NerdCore, what it is, why you do it, because I honestly didn't know what it was till Mars came around, and he's like a little like amateur NerdCoreist, but you like hear him around corners, and when you want to go take a picture, he like has a radar and he shuts up. You've heard him sing before. It's really good.
I have not actually heard him sing.
Oh my God, it's like amazing. Like he'll do it in the car and be like, someone get a camera. He's nope, shut up, done.
I can't believe that's your first exposure to NerdCore. Here's the thing. This is our fake geek boy.
It's not fake. I'm a newer geek. You know, I don't have the pleasure of coming up with family that was geeky.
Yeah. And he's moderately illiterate.
I don't read anything because I don't have time because I'm putting on a live TV show every week and I'm doing everything else.
I know.
But I do own 5 books.
Oh my goodness!
2 of them are Speed Racer mangas and some other signed books, so I'm getting there.
Do you have any books that don't have pictures in them?
Yes, I have Eddie Rotten's zombie book that doesn't have any pictures in it.
I'm very proud of you. I thought you were going to say the Bible and something by Stephen King, because they magically appear in everyone's house.
So, NerdCore. What is NerdCore for anyone out there like me who's like, what the hell are they talking about?
NerdCore is just a mix of genres using geek culture in most of it. There's a lot of nerdcore hip-hop and rock music, as well as 8-bit music, that just uses nerdcore. So
is there heavy metal nerdcore?
There is.
I've never heard heavy metal nerdcore. I've
You
heard all
are
the
missing
rap
out on
ones.
life, sir.
I want to hear the Zelda. You know, I just think that would be really hilarious.
And it's exactly what it sounds like. Really.
Zelda, fight the demons, whatever. I can see a band like Guar doing that little like 8-bit Minecraft costumes. That would be epic.
See, NerdCore is one of the things that makes going to a science fiction convention awesome because the dances are amazing. I mean, most people have heard of, well, I shouldn't say most people, many people.
She's looking at me. I'm used to the commercial conventions where they don't have dances or
I know.
the raves are full of small children with free hugs. I'm like, no.
No. But most people are familiar, that are at these conventions, are familiar with things like the remixes from the Guild. Have you seen those? So they've got 2 or 3 good dance remixes that, you know, boom, they always open the dance with those these days. And then after that, it usually turns into NerdCore and Weird Al. And
Really?
usually Nerdcore, Weird Al, and then someone, they've usually got a DJ up there to speed a lot of it up, because otherwise you're like, yep, we're white people
It's just
shuffling.
No,
yeah.
white people don't dance unless they're drunk, because drunk white people dancing is hilarious. I see it I used to work for a country radio station. I see it at country concerts all the time.
Oh, man.
Drunk white nerds dancing? Awesome.
Even funnier.
I'll
So,
do it any.
why did you decide to become a nerdcore artist?
It was easy for me to do, simply because that, when most rappers come out, they're talking about, money, cars, clothes, and I don't have either or any of those
We're
things.
very happy that you did not show up naked today.
Show up like Flea with just a sock. But it's so much easy for me to rap about things that I know: video games, comic books, and nerd culture.
All right, I have to ask, Marvel or DC?
It's hard to say, simply
No,
because
there's
both
one side
of them,
or the other.
There's one- I got to pick a side.
There's one correct answer to this, but do go on and tell me if you are wrong.
Wow, you put me on the spot here.
I'll give you a clue.
Everyone's got awesome
it's not
people.
what I'm wearing.
All right, simply because of my favorite character, I'm going to go with Marvel.
Oh,
Who's your favorite
excellent
character?
choice,
I'm going to have to
sir.
go with Marvel. I'm sorry?
Who's your favorite character?
The Hulk.
Nice.
I love the
That's an
Hulk.
unusual choice.
The Hulk is my dude.
The Hulk is all about just having a multiple personality disorder and learning to really roll with it.
I'm just like, he makes things explode. I like my explosions. What can I say, So, do you find when you listen to like actual rap artists that sing about the money and the women and the song and the cars, that it doesn't really matter because that's not really what they came from, whereas you sing about things that you have, like
Right.
things that you really are passionate about. I severely doubt these people were passionate about cars when they grew up.
I don't think most of them even have the cars that they are talking about and flaunting
Well, yeah,
about.
because
So
you're in the videos, someone has to pay for them, but not them.
mostly it's rental. Mostly it's rental.
And you
That's how
don't
they
have
do it.
rental comic books, is what you're saying. You don't actually have somebody out there like, all right, I just need you to brush up on the Wikipedia page here and then make us some rhymes.
No, it doesn't work like that. If I'm going to get comic books, I have to buy them. No one really rents them. No one really
That
wants
would be,
them.
no, doesn't the library rent comics?
Do they?
Yeah, actually. Well, not current up-to-date comics, but you can usually get trade paperbacks. So, if
So
don't
you
mind
could
being
sing
out
like
of date-
songs from 3 years ago. Like,
I'll-
right now you
Hey!
learned about Dark Phoenix, singing this Dark Phoenix song.
I can still remember the Dark Phoenix saga and the original Genosha Chronicles.
Oh.
You're like, no.
Don't make me break out my X-Men genealogy.
No, because she's really good at that. So NerdCore, for me, is new. How long has it been around?
Wow, for a while. I
Okay,
know
while
since-
doesn't give me like a long time.
I would say about like
90s.
2000.
Since 2000, that is really rather new.
14
So you can't
years.
blame
Thank
me.
you. 14
You
years.
can't blame me. I've been busy.
I
for
was going to
14
take you back
years.
to the 90s because I feel like They Might Be Giants also kind of gets folded in
If it's
pretty
in there,
well.
yeah.
And they've been around since the 80s, but and like MC Front a lot and things along
He
those
was wild
lines.
for a
Yeah.
while.
So he
Front
was
a
also.
lot.
Yep.
Yep. Done. Don't talk about it.
No,
Anyway,
no.
so there were a handful, and by a handful I mean literally probably 5 or under
yeah,
in the
not
90s, and then
much.
I'd say it really did explode. I don't
Yeah.
know, some weird things did change with Y2K. That would be geek culture coming into ascendancy. I don't know what time traveler is in charge of that, but thank you.
They're coming to help.
Yes,
help.
exactly.
So, as I've talked about, I've had a hard time kind of finding the nerdcore community.
Yeah.
But we had Bad Barry on with Caleb for our Austin Toy Museum show, and he's like, "Oh my God, there's like one here, one here, one here. I know them all."
Yeah.
Do you guys have kind of like a private culture, or are you more like starting to find ways to get out there? Because honestly, a year and a half trying to find a nerdcore person to be on the show.
Yeah, but you were looking just here in Austin. It's do go on.
We're in Austin. There should not be any lack of nerdcore artists.
Austin is not a geek city.
It is a geek
Austin
city.
is not remotely a geek city.
Oh my God.
It's not
Anyways,
Atlanta.
So, do you find the community growing and evolving, or
They are growing. There's a lot of artists in the hip hop nerdcore culture. They really don't like to call themselves nerdcore, but when you
Why
listen
not?
to them, I'm not sure why. But they definitely like to call themselves hip hop. But when you say nerdcore, you're like, I like to flip back and forth. But it's really, when you listen to them, it's definitely nerdcore. Especially like, I know dudes in Austin here called them Waffle House Boys. And they rap about being at the Waffle House and comparing IHOP and Denny's, and they always rap about
so it's a
Waffle
whole
House.
album about waffles.
Pretty much.
No
and
one
them
eats
partying.
waffles at Waffle House.
Zim eats
Raise your
waffles.
hand. Has anyone ever actually ordered a waffle at Waffle House? That would be him.
Chris Glover,
I
dude.
would too.
He's back there going, I do.
Nobody were.
You don't
that
go to
is
the
not
Waffle
why
House
you
and
go-
not order what's on the name of the building.
Yeah, you do.
What do you get at Waffle House if you don't get waffles?
I've actually literally never been to a Waffle House. When I go, it's at 4 a.m. and everyone's hungover. But I've never been there and had seen someone order a waffle. They usually get the burgers. I get the grilled cheese and the hash browns. You're really just looking for something $5 and under and greasy.
Yeah, very true.
Uh-huh.
But
So,
I do love the waffles.
MC Waffle House. And, the other one, so why do you think they don't want to call themselves Nerdcore? Are they afraid of being associated with the con-funk smells and things like that?
I'm not sure. I couldn't
You never
really
asked them to say, dude, you got to pick one. You can't be hip-hop and Nerdcore. It's one or the other.
It's kind of like DC and Marvel. Gotta pick a side.
See, I would think it would be marketing. With a really small niche market like that, I could see people being afraid to be labeled something like, oh, you just do that.
Yeah,
and not
and
be able to branch out more.
There's a frown upon when, especially when you're trying to like do a show or promote a show. When you hit nerdcore on top of hip hop, someone's like, well,
Yeah.
that sounds a little lame, a little cheesy for me. So no one really
Do you think
wants to go
some of
for
it's
it.
also that a lot of people, when they go to hip hop, they're thinking black culture, and then they hear anything with nerd, they're thinking just white people, like pastier than me white people. Like, who are you gonna get? You're gonna get like 4 mixed race kids in there that were raised very confused. How are we gonna sell them enough drinks?
I'm not sure. Like, I definitely see like hardcore hip hop artists that are white. So it's both. There's a lot of nerdcore hip hop artists that are colored or black. So it really doesn't matter which color it is, but it definitely kind of shuts it down when you add nerdcore to hip hop. So
I find that a weird thing since geek is becoming so mainstream thanks to stupid shows like Big Bang Theory and these other ones.
yeah.
That, I mean, if you go to a promoter and they're like, Nerdcore what? Why don't you go to a different promoter who's like, yes? It's like pitching a book to someone who doesn't publish books. They're like, whatever.
Right.
We asked Janice Davis that because she wrote a very female-driven gamer book, and people were like, why don't you change it to a male? Well, why are you dealing with people who don't understand the culture? So when you go out there and you see people like, what's Nerdcore? You're like, have you not heard my album? Why am I here?
Yeah, but I mean, realistically, when you go to a bar to listen to music, in
Right.
Austin at least, you're not going there half the time for the specific band. You're going
Right.
to hang out with your friends at a bar that you like, and you're just going to
Exactly.
listen to whatever you're being exposed to.
Right, exactly. So with that said, I mean, club promoters, high-end club promoters, they kind of want to stick to what's getting their money. When they say, hey, let me drop this nerdcore show at the show, no, I don't think anyone's going to come to that, so no.
Isn't that why I'm going to keep picking on Jonathan Colton because he's kind of the grandfather of a lot of this, in my opinion. But he went indie for that exact reason. Where He
Right.
just went to completely self-promoting and selling his songs online. It's like giving away a lot of them, but also please contribute to me if you want to, but mostly making his money at concert shows that he was dealing with himself instead of going through other things.
Right.
And he, to my understanding, basically didn't eat for a couple of years, went over great with his wife, and now he's doing really quite well for himself. But it was non-stop, constant promotion, getting in the
Yeah.
way of songwriting, getting in the way of a life. And not everyone has that in them.
Yeah, it's kind of, you have to stay, pushing, because if you, do one song and then stay vacant for about 2-3 months, people will just forget about
Yeah.
you. Like, oh, that was one hit, nice track, bye.
Yeah, I think that's why he did his song a week thing for what was it, a year?
Right.
Just so that he'd have enough volume to be able to get out and then promote.
Yeah, so it's really just trying to keep people in mind with your name. So as long as you stay current and try to keep pushing on that culture, like, hey, this is what I'm doing, and I really appreciate listening.
So how do you promote nerdcore within the nerd community?
It's hard, really. Just like if you go to a comic book shop, I usually go to a lot of comic book shops. I'm like, hey, I'm a nerdcore or hip hop artist, and most of them just don't even like hip hop. So it's like, well, let me show you this song that I rap about reading Rainbow. What?
Awesome. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty epic. Because that's the video you sent me. I was like,
Yes.
oh, this is gonna be fun.
So when I drop things like that, like, okay, now I'm interested, and let me get my few friends. But they only really stay inside at home, like kind of hermits,
Yeah.
so to speak. So they really don't like to get out. So it's really just promoting online is really the key when doing nerdcore.
Okay.
So we're almost out of time, but I do have one last question for you because you bring up how nerdcore is very much like hip hop. Are there like weird nerdcore beefs between groups? Like that you get the big hip hop drama. Is there like that in between groups?
Kind of.
Like Sega
Yes.
versus Nintendo singers, or Marvel versus DC, or
Nothing like that. I know there's some hip hop artists that will like to claim they're nerds, but try to get in that culture, but they are not.
Yeah.
Like, say, I don't know if you ever come across that talk about, hey, I know this so well. When you ask them a question, they have no idea.
Yeah,
My
that
favorite
happens. That
was-
happens.
my
They have no
favorite
idea.
was the guy who honestly thought Zelda was the hero, who was the elf. Oh, the elf! I love that game. What? Yeah, he throws the boomerang, has a little fairy. No, I'm walking away.
Yeah.
So there's those rappers that like to talk about, they think they know what they're talking about. But when you hear the raps, they have no idea what
Yeah.
they're talking about. So there's always that half, you're not a real nerd, we're the real nerds kind of thing.
Well, it's good to get more into NerdCore. Where can people find you online and buy your stuff? Like lots and lots of stuff.
All my music is on DougFunnieHipHop.com or Doug Funnie Music, or Twitter, Bandcamp is always on Funnie Music, Funnie, spells the shirt.
He's being very subtle.
I am.
We don't know anything about subtlety here. All right, so they can go on there, and last question popped in my head. I know it's the last one. Have you ever done a concert dressed as Doug Funnie
Yes.
from Doug?
And did the Quailman outfit.
Oh,
And did the Quailman outfit.
that's pretty hilarious. Underwear and belt and everything.
Yes.
Everyone go like, what's going on?
I had to buy like brand spanking white undies just to put on. No one wants like the dirty underwears and go on stage.
Okay, so NerdCore with Doug Funnie. Thank you for being on the show. I hope you had a good time. We're going to be doing more stuff with you, I have no doubt, in the future, and all the
Yes.
other little ones like Bad Berry, because he couldn't be here, he had to work, and some other fun things. Thanks for coming out and having fun and laughing with us and
You.
spreading the love of NerdCore in a safe, positive way.
Safe, positive way.
Get out there and listen to some nerdy music, people.